Is Mineski the team that could potentially, you know, ruin the hierarchy in SEA? The TNC Fnatic top 2? Is it Mineski who will dethrone someone?
I think for sure. Pilot Eye captain too.
How good is JT?
Hard to say.
When I was looking through these rosters, JT is like the only person. I'm not. Who is JT?
He's a newer guy.
Newer guy?
Justin Timberlake.
Pub star?
He made the transition.
He's been doing. He acts. He sings.
He's playing on like one of those other SC teams, like a Fam, I want to say, or something before. Maybe he's good. He looked like one of the stronger core players on his old team, and I think has come in and been decent.
What role does he play?
He's the carry.
He's a carry. Okay.
So he's carry. Moon is the mid. Same. Moon is the only carryover player from the old Mineski now with Mushi gone.
Yeah.
KP is Australian, right?
Yeah.
There you go, man. He's your boy.
He is. He's my boy.
You guys know each other?
Yeah, yeah. Not like super close.
He's super cool, man. I loved pubbing with him when he was here for TI.
It's one of the person like I don't keep in touch with him outside events, but like if I see him at an event, like I just go up and
he's such a funny guy. Yeah. So nice.
I know him back from like Dota 1 days. Like I'd played Dota 1 against him in Australia a lot.
Yeah.
Like, he was when I was competing. He was a fucking tinker spammer, like dirtiest tinker Naga spammer. Like he used to be a mid player.
Oh
like,
yeah, the Naga offlane. I forgot about that too.
I mean,
he
played it offlane because he was a Naga spammer. Like he was a mid slash carry. He started as a mid and then. In Dota 1, he was like exclusively mid tinker spammer. Dota 2, he was a mid, and then he moved to carry when he joined MVP Phoenix.
Did he play Naga when they picked it, or
for what MVP?
Let me see. Oh no, I'm just checking. Yeah, in the previous series. So.
And then yeah,
it was JT.
Then he moved to offlane. And
JT played it, so they're playing it as a carry. I mean, it could still be played as a carry, like or as an offlaner. Yeah. With a diffusal blade, like you do so much damage.
Yeah. 10 seconds.
So KP's old nickname used to be K Phoenix. Before he became KP.
He was the one that sent me the message that said, please stop calling me K Phoenix.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I told other people in there, like, but it's the better name.
It was K Phoenix, and then he dropped the X, and it was like K Feeny, and I was like, oh, what's K Feeny? I was so confused. And then he became KP.
What a troll, man.
Yeah. I like K Phoenix. I thought it was a good name.
It's a
pretty cool name.
Well, what's KP mean? I don't know. Why is it KPII?
Yeah, it can be K-Pie.
I get triggered with this name because Toby calls him KPII sometimes.
Does he really?
Why? I don't think he does it anymore. But there was a period of time where he would call him KPI or KPII. I'm just like, no, please, Toby.
That sounds right. They banned Enigma. That was picked in the previous series, so looked good, presumably.
Yeah, what Mineski doing? Rubik, Wyvern, Lundra, just banning heroes they played in the last series. I think that's really all you can do with your first stage bans on a totally new crazy patch.
Yeah. I hope that we get some sort of like meta evolving through the end of all these qualifiers. I'm sure that we will. Yeah. But it's
even on like a small level, like there's a pick meta evolving like based on what other teams are doing. Like Dazzle is top tier 1 pick, you know. Like there's the Tusk is like a backup 4 position option.
I'll be I'd be interested to see how people actually deal with the Dazzle. Morphling does not do well against Dazzle at all.
So it is one of the things I was curious about, though, is like there's all these influx of new heroes that seem really, really good because of the patch changes. And then you have these heroes that have kind of remained the same. But to me, Morphling felt like it was one of the best carries that was sort of underutilized in the last patch. And when you get Terrorblade suddenly nerfed, maybe this is the next one that takes over.
Although, to be fair, he was really strong just because he copied a lot of the other carries and became them. I mean, I suppose he can still do that against like gyros and stuff like that.
Or Sand King. Stun's great.
The stun is excellent. Yeah, you can steal the grave too. Actually, you can steal like all of Dazzle's stuff. I'm not sure if you get the ultimate. It's weird. It depends on the hero. Like he gets Ogre's multicast even though it's an ultimate, just because it's a passive. It might not be. I think it still is the same. You can still steal multicast even though it's not associated with the spells anymore. It's like associated with items, like it's its own passive, but I don't know. We'll see. In any case, the Sand King is excellent to steal.
Sand King's been one of the most picked heroes, I feel like, in the games I've watched.
Yeah.
It's like often first two, very solid, consistent offlaner, got some nice buffs, so he's quite viable.
Is it really just the way that Sandstorm has changed that's made him viable again? Like I guess he was always still really good.
He's also a hero who has a movement speed talent.
Okay.
So because of that, you get a lot of percentage-based movement speed from like the boots. Tranquil Boots and Phase Boots or whatever you want to build into. Also benefits a lot from bracers, like as we talked about earlier.
What a change. Like when talents first came out, the movement speed talents, they were all the garbage tier
they're
ones.
Terrible, yeah.
But
now they're like, that's what you want. Because
there are also some really low movement speed talents, like plus 15 movement speed.
Right? Yeah.
Where it's just like
versus like 70 damage or something.
yeah.
TNC Predators turn to pick Mineski's
movement speed on some hero like Sand King is so effective, just because it gives him reach around the map. Like, you can be in the bot lane showing, and then you can just be mid a second later if you're quick enough, you know, with blinks, with Yules, with Tranquil Boots and the move speed talent. Like, the hero just covers more of the map. You have to be worried about him killing you on more of the map with that movement speed. It's not even about like moving around in the fight. Sure, that's great. You set up for burrow strikes better if you have movement speed. It's more so like you spend so much time in Dota running around the map. The higher movement speed you have, just the more effective you use the map, more efficiently you use the map. Puck is such a good hero. I really like Puck against the Dazzle because he's always going to like save somebody. So the way that you can kind of deal with the Dazzle is like you either just disable the Dazzle and then kill other people, or it's a lot easier if you pick like an Earthshaker or a Puck and you just disable the Dazzle plus somebody else, and then you can focus like whoever else is on top of the Dazzle.
So you're going to stick to their Shaman. So likely see, what, 3-position Sand King seems to be at least what I've seen most of the games I've been watching, and Shaman, Dazzle as their 2 supports.
Yeah, let's see. What do they play in this?
Shaman, was Shaman being a 4 or a 5 for them?
Let's see. Let me go. I would assume it's a 4 with the Sand King. Like, that's a powerful double stun lane. Oh, Pilot Eye plays it.
Okay. Maybe the Dazzle Sand King sounds like a great lane too.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
TNC gonna get themselves the Lich, get some more strong laning here. So 5-position Lich, Tusk 4.
I'm really curious to see how TNC deal with this. Like, it does feel like they've come prepared for this Dazzle. They've got a couple of different heroes that you're saying deal with it well, and if you're going to give it away, I guess now's the time to do it. Maybe at the first game number 1. If it doesn't work out, just ban it game 2.
Yeah, just try to pick something to like counter it. You have the Tusk to get on top of him in the back of the fights, the Puck to silence, Lich armor for all the physical damage that's going to be surely coming out from the Dazzle.
That was the first series with them. You know, it's like they lost to Grimstork, then like, well, let's just ban it now. Grimstork actually ignored in this game, maybe just because neither teams have played it or practiced it.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have if your support player hasn't played it in pubs, probably not worth picking in a major deciding game.
Yeah, it's interesting to see it. I feel like a lot of teams just didn't expect it to be added into captain's mode so quickly, so they just didn't.
Yeah. I feel like that's
I don't know. Maybe that's an NA thing.
For me, it was like I was like, if someone has to put money, I'd be like, I'm 90% sure it's being added. It's also one of those things. If it's OP, you're gonna find out and you can nerf it, and you have bans. That's the whole point.
It's just weird to like see it completely ignored. You know, like I do feel like the hero is like a stronger 4 and 5 than Shadow Shaman.
Sure.
Maybe not necessarily Dazzle, but definitely Shadow Shaman.
So DK comes out. Looking like a pretty strong kind of 5-man lineup from Mineski. Like, they're pushing potential with Shaman, DK. This is like the kind of 20-minute GG lineups I feel like I've been seeing a lot of on this patch.
Yeah.
You have a Dazzle who gets some farm and maybe a fast Necro book. Even if he's just played as a 4 and thrown out the hills and the poison touch.
Yeah, they can tank up on the Sand King too. Like, Sand King tank the towers, kind of like how we've been seeing Doom being played.
Yep.
You just build bracers and vanguards and things like that. Tank the tower, tank spells. DK hits towers, Shadow Shaman hits towers, Dazzle protects everybody. Yeah, if they take an advantage in this game, it's going to be super snowbally. Puck Morphling though, like excellent in the late game, of course, but not so much at like there's no pushing power really coming from TNC, whereas from Mineski it's like an immense amount.
Yeah, TNC are going to be looking more like play the lanes, not look to just pressure towers. Try win your lanes, get farm and Morphling, maybe find some pickoffs later on. I like this Huskar ban. That could be a problem hero.
It's interesting that they last banned the Huskar despite having last pick.
I think it just suits what Mineski's game plan will be, like that timing push in the mid game where Huskar gives them Roche taking potential. It gives them a way just to 5-man and push high ground. Huskar just goes on the high ground with the Serpent Wards and just hits building with Magus.
10 seconds remaining.
And none of your heroes so far are good against Huskar, really.
Yeah.
So even if you can counterpick with one choice, it may just not be enough.
Yeah.
To see something like you were talking about earlier, like an Underlord or a Tide or something that you can like get big beefy like team fight items
for
around.
For TNC?
For Mineski.
Oh, for Mineski. Okay.
Yeah.
What are they? They're looking for a safe lane. I think they want some actual scaling here because you need the plan B. You don't want to go all in on the
They
push
could
necessarily.
they could pick Void. Oh no, Void's banned. That's that would be a pretty solid hero. That hero is like one of the better carries in this patch.
Yes.
Luna, is Luna available?
Luna's
Not 100% sure how it feels after the patch, but works with their how they want to push.
Yeah.
The safe lane would be really strong with like Dazzle plus Luna.
You know the highest win rate here in pubs? Lycan right now.
Hey.
High MMR pubs.
True.
Is it scary going physical damage into the Lich though?
That's fine. You got lots of magic elsewhere. But Sanking, Shaman. I mean not lots, but you have a good little blend. I think it gives you another building hitter and a hero that helps take Roche right now. Looks pretty good. You can Roche with like Dazzle, with a Medallion, Shaman Wards, DK, but it's quite slow. I think you want something faster tempo.
Jug would maybe be a hero.
That's cool.
I've seen a lot of people. Oh, they go for the Terrorblade against Morphling.
They're crazy. What are you doing?
They're insane men. Hey, we saw Arteezy playing the it's over.
That's my thought. I don't know.
I mean, I like their first 4 picks better than TNC's first 4, but the TB. I don't know.
I mean, against Puck too. Puck is excellent against the TB. Magic damage, illusion clear, burst, silence him so he can't use the Sunder. Even if he mantas, like you just still AoE silence, right? Like it's
and it's very obvious like when he's meted who he wants to focus and Lich can just chuck the defensive armor on them.
That's he can do it on the towers too. Like, yeah, that's definitely a bit of a rough TB game, but it is Pilot Eye drafting. You know, he might see something we don't. Where it's like, okay, if we pick this hero, there are no holes in our draft. We go late, we'll win. We'll
I mean, it gives
push the early game.
I think having a late game and then if you have a good lane, you can actually complement your team's push with just like a Manta style. You can still end the game in 20 minutes with TB and Dazzle TB. You've got Grave Sunders.
It's a really well-rounded draft.
What about just like the Legion Commander here for TNC?
I think that hero would be good. Not a lot of people pick it. Oh, Brewmaster.
That's the classic.
Oh, it's relatively the same thing because you pop the ulti and you clear the illusions with the Wind Panda. So it's the same thing except arguably better, just because Legion is arguably a weaker hero than Brew.
I just would have liked to be able to take off the Hex.
Gabby's on the Brew. Again, we're going to see this kind of safe lane Brewmaster.
Huh.
And off-lane Puck.
Off-lane Puck, mid Morphling.
I mean, Lich Morph as a mid duo is still pretty good, but it's not quite the same without the sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's GG.
It is against a Morphling against a DK, so they could probably just put the Morph there solo, and I think the Morph will probably do perfectly fine.
You don't need the full-on dual lane, maybe.
And then probably Lich Puck, just because I know the Brew Tusk is a combo people really like to run because you get the extra damage from the Tusk and then you crit with the Brew. Only issue is it's like a double melee lane into potentially Terrorblade or Sand King or Rasta or Dazzle. None of those heroes really care about melee heroes. Like not a single one. Maybe Terrorblade arguably, but
even the Brew could have a tough time this game getting splits off because there's a lot of insta stuns. There's Hex on the Shaman, Sand King stun. DK stun.
Yeah.
This is a kind of tough Brewmaster game, and if it's this Gabby kind of one-position Brew, that's often normally a Brew that doesn't even go blink.
Yeah.
So
I'm really curious to see what the lanes look like for TNC, because I think that Morphling might kind of be cool against Dazzle. I was wondering about this in my head, like if you just take a lot in adaptive, trade that way as opposed to trading in right clicks, and just try and like burst down KP slowly over time.
So they're doing the Core Dazzle and Sanking 4.
Yeah.
I mean, Febby's been one of those 4s who I think has had a rough last year because the roaming meta. He's the hardcore roamer 4 position. It's funny because he almost ends up being more of a 5 because he roams so hard that he never gets any items, he never farms. And that's kind of the weakness of him as a player, but the upside of him is that he makes a ton of space and your cores on his team end up getting super farmed because he just makes all these cool moves.
Even on Immortals with Dubu, like they both played roamers, and Immortals kind of sucked because
they had 2 5s playing roamers.
Right, and it's like, but roaming just wasn't good.
And roaming.
But now that it is.
Well, we don't know if it's.
Well, that's true. That we watched one series, but I don't know. I'm pretty excited.
We got a Sand King 4 position.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited for roaming, man.
Yeah,
back in the meta.
Well, let's hop into it. See what we think. I mean, I guess the Armel looks like he's got a build that's set up to head towards that mid lane, like you guys were talking about. Tim's up here top with Mr. Gabby, and it looks like it is going to be Cuckoo playing in the bottom lane. And the tips are going to come out fast and furious.
Oh, that's a lot of stunners in that bot lane. If they can catch anybody out, they're so dead. All right, Cuckoo's not gonna take the bait. This is a very common trend that you see nowadays. Maybe not the Terrorblade mid, that's interesting, but we'll do well against the Morphling. But in any case, like, people are running tri-lanes for the rune fights, just because that way you're guaranteed to get 2 of them and then potentially a kill. It's not this like toss-up, you know, where you're not sure. You run 3 people out of lane, and it's basically a guarantee that you get that rune.
It looks like it's actually going to be Moon, so yeah, the Dragon Knight is going to head there towards mid, and then TB is just taking the long walk up towards top.
The battle begins.
Like you said, securing both of the bounty runes. 2 apiece, no problem.
So Lich Brewmaster in the offlane. But not like an offlane Brewmaster. It's kind of like they feel like their carry's going to do better in this other lane. Oh yeah, Morphling, no help in sight right now. Happy to just take the full-on 1v1 against the DK. Go for that double, probably triple Wraithband build.
Man, he's been getting the treatment every time. Pilot Eye's just here.
You got to do this. You can't give Morphling a free 1v1 favorable matchup where he's going to get denies last hits. And immediately Lich responds. He's like, I gotta come in and stop this from happening.
Yeah. Has that Frost Shield level 1. Throw it onto his ally, but in the meantime, Armel can just sort of do a decent job last hitting. And that does leave a 1v1 up in the top side here. Gabby versus JT on the TB.
Yeah. And that should be fine for Brew. Once this meta wears off, he's going to have a big advantage, and even during this meta, TB's not going to completely destroy him.
Yeah, look at the top lane, where there's this huge wave.
The dire wave.
The dire wave, yeah. It was a little bigger, but I think Brew was like whacking it a little bit.
Nice.
But yeah, look at this. Like every single time this seems to happen. The safe lane wave like just double waves you, and then you die as an offlaner, and then you lose so much experience. He's not going to die, obviously, but it's interesting how this happens.
He's taking a lot of damage here.
He's
going for this
Maybe
right click
he will die. I don't know.
It's got a mango.
I'm surprised that wasn't the most efficient trade, and then we've.
God dang it.
Oh damn! I'm sorry.
Well, me and Jenkins will take blame for that one.
Yeah, that was on me. I'm so interested in these double waves because this happens in almost every game that I see. This huge double wave, pushing in, like, the waves are never static.
I mean, I guess there was that change to the way that creeps were moving.
Yeah, yeah. They move differently now. I don't know exactly how that would make double waves happen, but it looks like double waves are just... Dota patches are so weird. I love this game, man.
I mean, tanking all the damage he did with that double wave kind of hurt his laning state.
One tango. No, oh, okay.
And he got a second
there's
from
a
his buddy Lich, yeah.
Ninja Boogie's there to help him out.
Yeah, but Lich has one tango now, too. Like, they're actually running out of regen to a solo Terrorblade. He's solo.
And he managed to do that without Metamorph. He managed to find, like, an amazing harass trade with meta down.
And it looks like Shadow Shaman's coming back into lane with 4 tangos, although he's going to be a little ways before he can get back to lane.
Double damage Lich. So annoying.
Still, across the board, there's not, like, any major lanes being won or lost by either team.
Yeah.
Mid lane, pretty close. Bottom lane, pretty close. Top lane, pretty close.
That's kind of the great thing about knowing that there's something like a DK or a Magnus on the enemy team. You know they're not really going to pressure the lane at all. They're just going to do okay. So you can actually just pick a Morphling and throw it mid against a hero like this. And you have a free Morph game, where he now has the levels of a mid, which can be pretty great.
That's why the Shaman feels like, oh, I got to start mid so this Morphling doesn't actually crush this lane. But if you stay mid, the DK ends up being super underleveled.
Yeah, and the DK definitely needs the levels.
Oh, I would die.
With that Ice Shield.
Ugh, Brew is a hero.
You can just walk away afterwards.
With Lich, too, they're such great combos. Like Lich and Grimstroke, these heroes that can just get in your face are perfect.
Looks like Tim's going to go down,
Might
but
be a trade?
Nope. He's going to back out. Keeps himself alive. Still 10 stick charges there, and they had 9 on Febby.
He's got the salve, too.
It's interesting to me to see that the Shaman's playing with the Terrorblade and not the Dazzle playing with the Terrorblade, because with the Reflection, you can get the Dazzle Q to keep ticking, you know, because it's.
Well, the Dazzle's the core, not the support.
Oh right, Dazzle's core. Okay, okay. Dazzle. Oh, so it's a Sanking support. Right. Okay, so that. Yeah.
Well, Gabby gets.
Doesn't matter.
Not great.
Yeah. I mean, this is just, you know, new patch Dota. Sometimes you're on this Brewmaster hero that has some bunch of changes. You think you're strong. You think you understand what you can survive, and you just haven't. How many times has he played offlane Brewmaster? Probably only a couple on the new patch.
Yeah, I mean, he has so many other heroes. He has to fiend too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I don't have evasion. Okay.
This could be a turnaround kill here though as well. Got the Frost Shield and chase down, and Shackles keeping him alive, but still the slow is there as they turn on the pile. Another kill on the other side. End up losing the Dazzle. Trading a couple more hits, and Gabby with another clap in a second. They can go for it. Everybody's dying all over the freaking place. Stop losing your life. But it looks like, well, Cuckoo gets out.
These side lanes are so volatile.
Radiant are scanning.
I like that Gabby gets solo killed, and then he just keeps up the pressure. Like he doesn't.
For the dead.
He doesn't back down, because you know when it's a terrible, you have to pressure his lane, even if you accidentally screw up and give him a kill. The point of the hero is that he's weak in the early game. You need to punish that.
Cuckoo is going to be struggling here. Just level 3 right now, and the side pull's going on. This is going to be in a tough position for him.
You know, you're a puck though, so I think you're kind of okay with that, especially with this happening.
I join.
And then Jologi picks it up.
And nice little move to get Morphling a kill. He wasn't completely crushing his lane, and things shaping up to be okay for TNC here in the mid game. But
the more and more I see this Lich, the better I think the hero is. I feel like when the patch first came out, people were playing it okay, and it felt pretty good, but people are really understanding the power of the Frost Shield.
Yeah, it's like using it like the Grimster, where you just chuck it on this tanky hero who can just run in and whack people while they get slowed and constant damage.
People really treat it like you're immortal while you have it on you, and that you're doing so much damage. Like, people understand that now, whereas before people weren't really sure. Like, he's running in, he's like a madman, right? Like, this guy, he knows that he's not going to die. A lot of the times on other heroes, you die for that.
Well, Cuckoo might die for it as they get the shackles and extra bits of damage out. Oh, phase shift. No, doesn't matter. He's done. And still hanging out inside his sandstorm here.
That is so good.
But they also have Pile Die caught for the moment. Another Burrow Strike in a second.
Hey, look at him. He's just sitting at 40% HP. They can't do anything. He's just sitting in the he's invis.
Yeah.
I think that's such a cool change, though. It's so fun to play the hero. Have you guys played Sand King?
No.
It's so fun.
I want to now.
It's awesome. Because you can just right-click. Like, you can just do anything. You can stun, you can channel Epi, and it'll put you invis as you're channeling the Epi. It's tight.
Morphling's got the triple Wraith band up and
Dire's top tower is under
farming well in his normal Morphling timings and items. No points in waveform, but this has kind of become the build of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. A lot committed here.
Can they get both, or will it just be a Dazzle kill? Sand King? What's the play here?
He's got
10 seconds.
Do all the Brewlings count? Well, it doesn't matter.
So can they get Snowball to the creep? Yeah.
Oh.
That's not getting that's how you tell him is what we're talking about. Of course not. Does not matter. He didn't know. I didn't know. I mean, I feel better about myself because I'm like, oh yeah, he's doing the play I thought he'd do. And then, oh wait.
Even Sand King ran out of it afterwards because he's like, oh, he broke my sandstorm.
Yeah, between me, Tim's, and Febby, none of us know what this new patch is. Yeah.
Armel gets the kill.
Every single time I see a wraparound on the Radiant mid lane from there, it's just the support dies.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's so easy for the enemy supports to TP into the shrine and just kill you. You just get cut off.
Yeah, it's just a direct path as soon as you spot them in, because there's only one way out there.
Yeah, and there's always vision there. Maybe it's just like maybe it just happens that that's happened in these games, but I don't know. Seems like a bit of a trend.
I think people are going to need to figure out like the paths that are best to approach, like, and refigure all that stuff out.
I think so too.
Gabby's got his Midas up. Here we go.
Oh man.
This is a relatively common build on the Brood too, just going for the Midas and rushing into carry items.
Yeah.
Because
the CIS players are still doing Midas Radiance.
Yeah, I saw no one was doing that. I think he was playing a pub or something like that, but you know, it's still the build that he thinks is good on that hero.
This is the morph build we're seeing a lot of, just casual morbid mass just for the jungling capabilities.
So is Bassi dead now? Because I feel like it could still be good for like pushing and stuff.
I think it's just the fact that you get so much more out of just replacing that slot with a Wraith Band.
Yeah.
Like you just get more attack speed, more stats.
Some of the Visage players I used to start first out in Bassi. I mean, maybe that's still a build on like a Visage.
Yeah, like you would start with the. You can also start with like the Sage's Mask, pick up the Ring of Protection at the side shop. That's like
yeah, if you're playing the safe lane. Visage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they wouldn't even upgrade it to Aquila. That was like one of the few heroes I would see buy Bassi and not get Aquila.
Yeah.
On some players, I personally think you should always get that Aquila, but I know Weeha would go first out in Bassi mid and then rush Helm of the Dominator. Like no boots, Helm of the Dominator.
I think Bassi not being good is mainly the fact that like it upgrades into just Vlads and nobody's building Vlads.
Yeah. This don't upgrade to anything though.
What doesn't?
The Wraith Bands.
Oh yeah, but that's that's the thing though. That's why they're so cost efficient. Yeah, like that's why they're so cost efficient in the early game. The thing is, if you're getting a Bassi, you're not upgrading it to anything either because you're not getting a Vlad. So would you rather something that upgrades to nothing and is a Bassi or a broken Wraith Band?
Guess that's fair. Uh-oh, Cuckoo.
He's going to have to join away from the PK stun, but that means there's an SK stun instead.
And they got another one followed up afterwards, get the kill. These guys are leashed, though. No way, no how. They're getting out of here, at least for the moment. But the epicenter possible there for the turnaround. The snowball saving them. They're only taking out that Wind Panda. Can they kill off Moon here as well?
So tanky.
I mean, he's eaten about 20 tower shots, but it's going to be able to keep you away.
He can break it. He can break it.
Okay, they got it.
With the link.
Thank goodness there's still a Boulder Smash.
Yeah. That was a tanky DK though. Good God.
Yeah.
Two bracers, boys. 2 bracers.
Magic resistance.
And a treads. That's all.
How much damage did he take from the
that
tower,
is
though?
actually an
1,000 damage from the tower.
1,800 health at 11 minutes as a level 8 DK. Does that sound right, guys?
That doesn't sound right.
Those numbers add up.
Oh my God.
For the amount of gold he spent to get these items. And it's 1,800 health with bonus magic resistance.
Yeah. Effective HP is insane.
I don't know, that just doesn't sound right to me.
What is he at? 39% magic resist? Or is it less than that?
Maybe 35?
37%?
37,
Yeah. When he has the strength treads, it would be, I think, a little bit higher. But
like, how do you play like these kill focus like mid laners,
burst
like
heroes?
a Quap or something, when there's a DK in the game?
That's what I was saying like about the Necrophos earlier. Like the reason Necro is so strong is because people will get enough net worth, and you can still kill them because Scythe just does a percentage of damage. But
same thing for Storm. Storm wants to like kill squishier heroes, but everyone just tanks up with these cheap cost-effective items.
Like you'll use all of your resources, and they'll be at 20% HP, which isn't a kill.
Yeah.
They'll just go Shrine. They'll just go Salve.
But you see right there, it was a Puck where it's still 3 of these null tallies, but it's not going to be enough. It makes me wonder if that's the type of hero where you need to go like a Blink and just be more mobile, because tanking up doesn't do enough.
Or maybe build bracers instead of the null tallies. As silly as that sounds.
That was the Dota 1 meta. Everyone built braces. Nulls and Wraith Bands were just garbage in Dota 1.
Look at this Roche attempt right here. This is awesome. Sand King.
That caught them all by surprise.
Morphling plus Tusk.
Huh.
Wow.
That's with, he's level 3 tag team. That's some 7.20 synergy.
That's pretty cool. And then they have the Lich armor too. That is pretty goddamn cool, actually.
That's something new.
With
Maybe it's been done in pubs or something. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. With the Morphling Morbid Mask.
That's
I can
like
definitely
Ursa timing. A 12-minute Roshan?
It's pretty insane.
That's insane. 3 Wraith Bands and then a Morbid Mask. No minus armor.
I mean, he just has an Aegis now. What
do they do? Get value out of it,
and on top of that, this is a hero that can get so much done, like with the morph ability.
Let's see him start focusing some tier 1s and stuff.
You know, actually, with all the stats that you get from these Wraith Bands and such, morph is pretty good.
Got Sentry this time.
They got him.
They pulled the Dazzle couldn't grave because they got the Lich.
That was really nice.
What's his spell
Sinister
called?
Gaze.
Sinister Gaze.
Jeez.
It's like the reverse Stone Gaze.
Yeah.
So
forced to walk into it rather than away.
Yeah, this timing is impossible to deal with. They don't have their like frost armor right now, but you look at like a Bruce split with an Aegis on Armel. These towers are just gonna fall.
Yep.
DK knows he has to be there to defend it. I mean, even if they can't fight, he still needs to be there if they don't want to just lose.
I like that they're not just 5 men in one lane. Like, do this 4-1 split where Puck is pushing out the top lane or Brewmaster. You still got to play the efficiency farming game.
Yeah.
You're 14 minutes in. You don't 5-man.
Every single time I see a team think that they can 5-man, it's just a disaster. They lose way too much on the map, or they lose the 5-man. I definitely...
I don't even think you should be as 4. I have all 3 cores farming somewhere separately, and then group up around one of your cores with your supports.
Yeah, yeah. Or like...
The bait.
Yeah, that was a nice bait with the sentry. Or like have your one of your supports sit mid, Puck sit off lane, and then put 2 cores.
That's
just because 2 cores is like almost impossible to deal with even 4 heroes, especially with an Aegis.
Yeah, and Brewmaster with ultimate is very scary once.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like the Puck and Brew being together, I think is good.
Yeah, yeah.
And then having the morph down.
And they had the Tusk was mid while those 2 were top, Tusk was mid.
Yeah.
And it was like this more farming bot, Tusk mid, and then the 2 cores getting kills up.
I like the way they're playing this with the morph in like the dead lane because he has the Aegis. They can just get a lot off the map doing this. I think they realize like the push is not happening.
Oh, I mean, quite happy just to farm and extend their golden experience lead.
One thing with this game though that it's hard to like calculate how this is going to go, I guess, is with this new Dazzle. Like, how good is this hero actually in the late game with the cooldown reduction? Like, is this a core that can actually deal with the Brew, the Brew plus Morph plus Puck? Like, are there items this guy can get where he is just such a tremendous problem?
And even this Brew with Radiance, like that's just a Radiance for a reflection.
Yeah, that's true.
TB's not going to be too upset to see this Radiance come out. Maybe because it's this early and Brew is farming incredibly well. But
to go back to that point about like the late game, it seems hard to imagine that even the cooldown reduction is going to make this hero as relevant as the other cores on the Radiant late game.
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe it will, but it's just I haven't seen it yet. We'll see.
Sheepstick, Necro, Blink. I don't know. It's so hard to say.
Yeah. This game feels pretty even still right now, just based on TNC took this Aegis but aren't completely taking all these towers out of it. Dire's scaling well into the late game. Like, this kind of gold lead right now doesn't feel insane. There is a Midas, it's like the cost of this Midas is essentially the gold difference between the 2 teams.
Yeah. And I think Terrorblade farms fast enough. That's the one. I think that's why like Arteezy was picked this Terrorblade into a Morphling at KL because the Terrorblade will farm faster than a Morphling. Terrorblade has like a built-in Midas, and the fact that his illusions do so much damage. Yeah. So even though it's a Midas, you still have a Terrorblade on the enemy team who's going to be getting a lot of farm, especially with 3 Wraith Bands, Yasha, and Agility Treads.
45 seconds on the Aegis. They start off, but he gets the strength form over. Looks like Armel will be perfectly fine there. And Moon going in. Get hit by the long duration stun. Switches over into the DK form. Ninja Boogie low. And Chain Frost not going to bounce that much further forward. They get the kill. Back out.
It's kind of how even with an Aegis, there's just not much they can do. Dire have this great team fight, good initiation, so many stuns that it's hard. I don't really love TNC's draft. Like, the lack of... I mean, they have stuns themselves, but I just don't feel like they can team fight into Mineski's team right now.
Does Puck have a Blink Dagger at this point? He does, right? Yeah, he's got a bunch of null tallies. The net worth is so deceiving now because you just have all null tallies and boots. It's like the guy has 7,500 net worth almost. Just a blink.
Aegis expires. They have the Radiance on Brew. They've taken 2 tier 2s, top and mid. Oh.
Haven't seen the Shaman wards just yet.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to play this 5-position Shaman when your team's on the back foot. When you're poor and playing from behind a Shaman, you feel so weak.
Oh, yeah.
Any hero that gets on top of you, you just feel like you're dead or you're just going to drop boards because otherwise, you're not going to use any spells in a team fight.
Mm-hmm. He has a max Hex build, too. It's like super poverty mode. Pilot Eye special. He probably loves the new buy 100 sentries meta. It's perfect for Pilot Eye.
Tim's is going Necrobook too on the Tusk.
Guess with the tag team, there's some really good synergy there. There we go. So everyone's get dropped and
see ya.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
too late.
Well, Cuckoo will farm it.
He's just dead.
No.
I mean,
I think he's just getting, kind of fed up with there just not being anywhere to use Serpent Woods. He's like, I'll get a support kill, in the end, like that trade just doesn't feel that great for Mineski.
It doesn't, no.
You get a 1-for-1 support, you feed some Surfer Mode golds, and
yeah, they got way more out of that.
You pull TNC back, but TNC aren't looking to push high ground. Like stalling this game out isn't something that TNC care about right now.
Not actually 100% sure who wins this in the late game. I think Mineski has a timing with the Terrorblade BKB and the Dragon Knight BKB, where yeah, they're both or Terrorblade's going for it's a DKB, probably BKB, realistically speaking. Yeah, BKB. So they're gonna probably try to take a fight around that. Like they're gonna group, take Roche, take towers. That's their timing for sure.
Yeah, their BKBs are pretty hard for TNC to kind of have solutions for.
The thing though is that since Roche got taken so early, it looks like the second one's gonna come up before those BKBs too.
The Aegis cheese.
So silence there. They're able to hit.
Oh, can he burrow? I don't know.
Time will tell. They jump in with Gabby, and now Radiance burn all over the place. You got the Chain Frost Moon trying to open up here on the Cuckoo, but he's going to be able to find any more. Boogie up on the high ground. They find themselves the kill onto the Dazzle. 3 dead.
That Radiance is destroying with the Lich Armor. That is so much magic damage with the burn as well from the fire.
And it's hard because if even fighting into like a TP, all those illusions just going to instantly die to all that AoE damage. The TP himself can't do much right-click damage because of the mischance coming in, and he's kind of going to get burned away at. Well, I mean, this is one of those drafts for TNC where it like didn't look amazing, I think, for me at the start, but like the more you see it play down, you're like, there's actually some crazy good synergy coming out from these new spells on some of these heroes.
Yeah, I think the Radiance on Brew is really important. They kind of lacked, I don't know, not necessarily control, not necessarily, like, it kind of felt like they just weren't getting any kills in these, like they just couldn't fight, right? For whatever reason, lack of damage, and with the Brew Radiance, they can definitely take these fights.
I mean, I think that it's everybody looks at also like the Morphling TB matchup and talks about like the way that you can switch over into Morphling, or rather into TB and get Metamorphosis. But the other thing is just like this hero comes online and I feel like does so much more than Terrorblade early. Like Terrorblade hits buildings, hits a lot of creeps, and Morphling can like fight and get in there.
I think that's the thing though, is that it's like the building hitting that really makes Terrorblade a true carry, where if you just kill the enemy team once, you can just take the entire enemy base.
That's true.
It's Morphling can also do that, but not to the ridiculous degree that Terrorblade can. That's why I think Terrorblade's always okay in a game, just because as long as your team can fight, which is not, it's not hard to build a team that can fight, then you can take racks, you know.
Yeah. A great kill if they could get it, but there is a Lincoln Sphere, so Lincoln's is one of those items that just like, to me, was a big reason why Sand King fell off, because it's like, it's so annoying playing Sand King against Lincolns. DK is the same thing. These two heroes do not have a way to break Lincolns without building an item specifically to do that, which neither hero normally naturally does that well.
Yeah.
Puck is building Necros too.
That's Morphling with the Lincolns, right? He was just...
Yeah, he was in TB form.
He's in TB form.
Yeah. But he's got Lincolns, and...
There's a little TB running around.
Yo, everybody's building Necro books. What the hell's happening?
Is this item broken now, or what?
Dazzle? Who else? Who else?
So
Tusk and Puck.
Tusk and Puck.
Oh, Puck. Oh, I know. Puck is a Puck Necro is a build. Like you coil and then Necro, because
right clicked him with it.
Yeah, you can't run away from the coil anymore. Well, you can. It's stunned.
All right, we got BKB on the Terrorblade. It looks like they have it on the DK very soon, but not quite yet. Jump in, Bro Strike, and there's the Brew Split. Immediately, this fight is over as they turn it back around. Almost able to find themselves a secondary kill. It looks like Heavy Indeed is going to go down. They find themselves the kill onto the Dazzle.
These fights look so easy for TNC. It's like they just use a few spells that don't require too much effort, and they just, all right, we won the fight.
They kind of just split and then win the fight. Like this this Radiance has just come at a pretty nice time for them. There's no way to fight into it.
I don't know.
These Necro books too, just helping take objectives. DK will have a BKB now, but that was their TP 10-second BKB being used.
Bottom lane trying to see if they can chase down Mr. Moon, who is going to get
chasing him.
Jumped upon.
Protection, right? There's a sentry. He's walking back into it. He doesn't know.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, now he knows, and it's too late.
I'll be able to find that kill. Are you okay?
He didn't have his BKB either. He was so close.
Yeah.
They may just go high ground with this Aegis cheese now. They've got double Necro 3s, I want to say. I don't know if Tusk is 3 yet, but Puck just got his Necro 3.
Well, and that's the thing that you guys are talking about, right? Like, you want to hit this timing with the BKBs that are coming out, and they decide to smoke up as 4 without the DK BKB, and then they just all die.
I think they thought Radiant were roaching, because they smoked towards the Roshan pit. But at the same time, if they were roaching and you caught them there, would the fight have gone well? Probably not.
I don't think so, but it feels like one of those times where you just feel like you have to contest it, otherwise you're going to lose.
They've been on 13 kills, I feel like, since like 15 minutes in this game. They have not gotten a kill in a long time.
Yeah, that one hurts.
Since Brew picked up that Radiance, they've basically been...
They killed a Lich.
Right, they warded.
All right, they got the Lich.
Yeah, and that was also a Lich.
Oh, the Lich.
They got a tower. I got
Tusk. Okay.
It's just been TNC getting objective after objective and all the kills, the Roches.
Brew is level 20.
Oh, the Primal Split unit health.
I can't...
He's got the insane 25.
Yeah,
his level 25 is pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's either you crit super hard or you have permanent Brew Split, basically.
Oh, he got his BKB delivered, but he's stunned forever. He can't get it off. And that means he doesn't have buyback.
That's racks, probably multiple lanes even.
Jeez.
Is Morphling meta? Does he have meta? It's just...
No, I don't think so.
Don't show yourself.
Oh, he got DK for me.
Oh, wait. Oh, he has DK for me.
All right. Well, he's taking a lot of damage, but the waveform forward, trying to find himself one. The punches coming through onto Shadow Shaman. Armel, large and in charge, and they're going to ward trap him, but he's switching over to Strength Form. Pylai die, not long for this world. They find the kill, looking for a Sunder. Is it going to happen in time? It's out there, Reflection, still trying to run away, and it looks like TB will escape.
That's BKB meta being used and not really defending. You have both times, so DK may respawn. They may actually save their bottom racks here.
Okay. They burn through the Aegis.
I think they'll
take the tier 3 and run.
Tier 3 and run. They didn't quite go as planned for TNC. They maybe overcommitted a little bit to go on that TB.
It's nice discipline, though, that they back off in this situation.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we maybe dived a little hard to try kill TB. We're still going to get tier 3 and get out without losing it.
Yeah, they're not going to lose. And then TB used meta, too, so they pick up the shrine. And
they can go fight again even without Aegis.
Yeah, they can just go with that when the meta's down. They do have the cheese, too, still.
Yep.
This Brew is so big.
He's such a high level. I've never seen Brew be such a high level at this point. 21.
A lot of it's the Midas, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, part of it, and then
she's getting a lot of
6-1 and 11. Oh my God! All right, they're in trouble. Although Moon, looks like he might be able to make something of this and stay live in. Although,
oh my God.
Highlight die, not so much. KP, oh God, he's trying to run away. The Chain Frost is bouncing between his Necro books as they chase him down. TNC just completely running over him.
They're steamrolling. This is like Game 3 TNC from last series, you know? It's like, okay, they're woken up now. First few games of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't play badly. I think Team 496 were just really good, caught them by surprise.
I mean, it is legitimately possible that it was early for them.
Well, it also is possible if 496 is better than we were expecting.
Yeah.
That's another way to look at it potentially.
They got through a pretty tough open qualifier.
You do also figure out a lot in a series when it comes to like a new patch.
Probably it's Dota players always say, you know, you learn more from losing than winning.
Yeah.
They're going to learn a lot from this game. TNC. Are they going to kill off Armel? It doesn't quite look like it. The turnaround, snowball through everybody. Pylai die is dead. Febi was feared. They're almost finding a kill onto Armel. He's walking away from him though. Metamorphosis back up in 16 seconds. He's got Sunder, but Cuckoo says no. Triple kill for the Puck, and GG is the call.
26K network lead in 27 minutes. Didn't seem like a stomp at first, but what a stomp.
Started getting out of hand, you know. They got that first Aegis, and I was like, okay, you know, they got 2K lead, and they even during that Aegis, they didn't get super far ahead or anything. But
yeah. This is kind of the Dota you would expect in this patch from looking at pubs and a lot of the other tournaments. Like you said, there's like a China tournament going on. DPL.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of what is expected. So I wouldn't, if I'm Mineski, I'm not too upset about this, just because a lot of the time this is what games look like.
Right.
You can definitely
collect yourself.
Right.
Go back in for game 2. I definitely think that Lich Tusk Morphling combo for like a 12-minute Roche, that's nifty. I like that.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Like they actually got a lot off the map with that play. We first saw them try to group up and push, but they very quickly realized that they could just play the map really efficiently, which is a really good call. I think a less good team would just try to 5-man and lose the Aegis, and it probably wouldn't matter. But they very quickly realized, like, okay, this 5-maning's not working. We forced them here. Let's just take the map. Morph will take the dead lane. They farmed in a bunch of lanes, got Tusk a bunch of levels. And, yeah, that was really nice. They got way too much off of that. Like, you're not supposed to have an Aegis that early in the game.
Oh, for sure. There are a lot of things with Mineski's draft I think ended up not being how I thought it was going to go. Like, the Sandcan, I just feel like I've only seen it played as a core. Like, LGD's been playing in the DPL. Newbie's been playing, and it's, like, only played in the 3 position. Double Bracer Vanguard. Every single game I'm seeing the same build.
It's like a bait hero, like an Ogre or like a Centaur, maybe more back in the day when Centaur was like a tank and not this initiator guy. But
and TB also.
Yeah.
Not the best pick, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's let's see. They picked. Let's see if I can get the matchup here. Has it gone in there yet?
They last pick TB.
They 5th pick TB.
But it wasn't the final pick of the draft.
Not Morphlane. Brew was, yeah.
Brew was picked into the TB. You said that Legion was good, and Brew, for the exact same reason, I think is really strong. You just clear the illusions, and then once he picked up the Radiance,
it was just
it's like even if you
do.
Yeah, there's very little. Even with the BKB, it was like at the point that he got the BKB, they would just chase and kill everybody else, and then the BKB would end, everybody else would be dead, and then the Brew would just kill the Terrorblade after, or the Terrorblade would have to go base.
And they're also tanky too, like Morphling has high armor, they have the Lich armor thing, Tusk Snowball, they have a lot of save, phase shift on Puck. There's no easy good targets.
It's hard to play TB against like the new Lich.
Yeah.
60% physical damage reduction. 60%, and it slows all of the illusions. Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, Puck, which I think was kind of like the hero was terrible when TB was big, but it sort of tears through the illusions as well.
Yeah. It's a bunch of AoE magic damage, and up until like 40 minutes into the game, that will clear all the TB illusions just to use the 2 Puck spells. And then it's AoE silence too. And even if you don't clear the illusions, you have all this AoE magic damage. You know which the real TB is. The same thing against the Phantom Lancer.
Well, for Mineski, game was hard, but game number 2 right around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. More coming up just right after this in the Southeast Asian qualifiers.